Hi guys, we are Jake and Kaylee, also known as the Globe Wanderers. Welcome to our first vlog of 2024.
Yes, Happy New Year! So our goal for 2024 is posting one YouTube video on every Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And to kick it off, we are going to get started with one of our favorite countries in the whole world, the Philippines.
Yes.
Okay, so if you are currently planning a trip to the Philippines and you're feeling a little bit lost, we don't blame you. We were in the same boat.
Actually, the first time that we went, the amount of research that we tried to do online through different blogs and whatnot, it was really hard to find information on the Philippines. You can find a little bit more now, but that's kind of why we wanted to make this vlog, is just to kind of give you as much information as possible, especially for two people that have now spent a couple months there on two different occasions. So hopefully you guys find this helpful.
Yeah. All right. And the topic today is El Nido, which is one of our favorite islands in the Philippines, for sure. I mean, they're all beautiful and we love them all for different reasons, but El Nido holds a special place in our heart. And today we're going to chat with you about planning your trip there. So with that, let's get into it. Things to know before you go. So before we get into the actual planning portion of visiting El Nido, there were some things that we didn't know before we went there and we think is crucial information to share with you. So to kick it off, let's first start with health. Definitely go see your doctor before you visit the Philippines. Different regions require different vaccines, maybe malaria pills. So definitely visit your healthcare provider for some information on that, because that's what we did. And then also another thing to know is no tap water when you're in the Philippines. For health and safety reasons, do not drink the tap water. A really weird thing that someone mentioned to us when we were there is do not shower and like have your mouth open and ingest the water, which is something you don't really think about, but maybe you do it, maybe
I don't know
you don't.
how everyone showers, but just don't be there like that.
Pretty much. Also, if you're going to a restaurant, staying away from ice is a good idea, unless you ask if they're using the filtered water for ice.
Some do, for sure.
They definitely do. So if it's an establishment that you think is trustworthy, we would ask anyway, just to be on the safe side, because you don't want to ruin your trip getting sick. Another thing to note that we never thought of, that our friend that's a local told us, is ask if they're washing their fresh fruits and vegetables in the local water. If you're gonna eat raw fruits and raw vegetables, like a salad or like a fruit salad or cut up fruit, anything like that, if it's washed in the local water that's not filtered, you can also get sick from that, which we didn't know.
No.
Luckily, it didn't happen to us.
No, actually, in all the time that we've been in the Philippines, we did get food poisoning once. But it was in Corong, and we actually are doing another vlog one of these coming weeks, so we'll share that story, because it's entertaining to say the least.
Stay tuned for that story time. Okay, so a weird thing to talk about, but necessary because you want to capture all your memories. Maybe you're bringing a camera, you want to bring your phone, you're working from home, whatever. You're not working from home. You're on vacation.
Work from location.
Yeah.
Is I'm sure what she meant to say.
So plugs.
Short story long, that whole spiel was to get to plugs.
Something that a lot of people don't think about when they travel is the adapters and converters that you need. In the Philippines specifically, you'll find a couple different types of plugs, type A and type C. So we definitely recommend bringing a travel adapter and converter, because it's 220 volts there. And if you're North American like us, we function on 120, so you don't want to blow up your phone, your camera, anything like that. So definitely recommend heading to like Amazon, something like that, and finding one of those adapters. Another thing that we didn't think of when we traveled there initially, specifically to El Nido, is how much businesses rely on cash payments. So if you're going to take a tricycle, or if you've been to other places in Southeast Asia like a tuk-tuk, a lot of boat tours, and cash for everything. And even hotels, some hotels that we stayed at required a cash deposit when we got there that they gave us on when we checked out. So definitely have cash on hand. If you don't panic. There are ATMs in Nido Town. And one of the last pieces of advice in terms of what to know before you go, if you're gonna do tours out of Nido Town, there are 3 areas that you can stay at if you're gonna do that. There's Nido Town proper, Corong Corong, and then Las Cabanas, which are about 10 to 25 minutes away from El Nido Town proper.
Majority of our time, I think we stayed in El Nido Town, which is obviously the closest to everything. It definitely has the most restaurants, the most kind of going on. Definitely the area that we would recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if it's like your first time visiting and you kind of want to be like in the middle of everything.
Yes.
Definitely the best spot is El Nido Town proper. Now that you know a couple of things that we wish that we would have known before we went there, let's talk about how you're actually going to get there. So you are flying into the Philippines. You're probably going to land in Manila, which is their main international hub. And from there, you can actually fly to El Nido in two different places, because keep in mind, El Nido is actually an island and El Nido Town is just a place on the island. So you can fly into Puerto Princesa or El Nido's new airport that they just made a couple of years ago.
Right, which we haven't done yet.
No.
Because it wasn't even really a thing when we were there, or was still really new.
Yeah. So it's exciting new development for them because it makes traveling there so much easier. If you are going to fly into Puerto Princesa, we've had some really interesting experiences from there.
It's just like a bus type thing, or like a
van.
Like a van, I guess. Yeah. Like a passenger van,
Yeah. So if you're gonna fly into Puerto Princesa because maybe you want to do like Port Barton or some other stops along the way to El Nido Town, I mean, it's a good option, but just to prepare you for what to expect, it's like a 5-hour van ride on a really windy road.
Yeah, you're gonna want some like anti-nausea medicine for sure.
Yeah.
Because there was a few people, I think the first time you were not sick, but like on the verge.
Yeah.
And our last time we did it, there was a couple of people in the back that were definitely sick.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 hours, windy road, and the drivers, I think, are trying to make record time at all times. Or I don't know if it's just like driving in the Philippines that's just kind of how it works, but it's like it's like a 5-hour NASCAR race, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're going at top speed for sure. If you are flying into Puerto Princesa, we're definitely not like discouraging it because there are some really beautiful places to visit along the way. We personally have never been to any of those places, so we can't vouch for those. Yeah. But just so you know, if you're going to get to El Nido Town from Puerto Princesa Airport, you have to book a shuttle and you have to do it in advance. So definitely do that online. You can book a private one, it's pretty expensive, or a shared van, which is what we did. But just know that you are on island time, and if they say you're departing at like 1 p.m., you're really not departing until 2.
Not strict by any means.
No, and they'll wait to fill the van up. So just know that before you hop in one, like you're not going to be timely. Don't plan a tour the day that you're getting to El Nido Town from Puerto Princesa, because you'll probably miss it. If you're flying into El Nido Town, that's definitely the easiest way to do it. You can fly directly from Coron if you're traveling from there, or Manila, Cebu City. There's a lot of different islands that have direct flights into the El Nido Town airport now, which is, I believe, ENI if you're going to be looking for flights. So to make ease of travel.
Yeah. I was thinking side story as well. Like obviously when you fly into the Philippines, most people will fly into Manila. Our first time that we went to the Philippines, actually again in early 2020, we were supposed to fly into Manila, and it was like less than a week before we were supposed to head there. The tall volcano erupted, and basically everyone in our family messaged us like, you shouldn't be going, it could be dangerous, blah, blah, blah.
Flying into an active volcano eruption.
Yeah, and like we started Googling, and it's like one of the worst things for airplanes is volcanic ash. So we started like kind of worry about that. But what we ended up doing is we rerouted our last flight from Tokyo to Cebu instead. So we, instead of doing the flight to Manila, we flew into Cebu. So that's also another option. And that allowed us for that first trip to kind of avoid going there
and flying through Manila,
and then flying. And we said after the fact of like, we were basically out at lunch one day deciding like, do we go, do we not go, this volcano, all that. And we, obviously ultimately we decided to go, and so glad we did, because to this day, if you ask us what our favorite trip is we've ever done, it's our first trip to the Philippines. I mean, both trips were amazing, but it was just,
that first
couldn't imagine the fact that we were so close to not going.
I know. So, I mean, props to 2020 Jake and Kaylee for traveling into an active volcano situation. You have made it to El Nido and you decided to stay in El Nido Town, which good on you. We think that's a great choice. Our hotel recommendation is Suna Hotel, C-U-N-A. We stayed there both times.
Well, so our recommendation is based on the fact that this is the only place we've actually stayed.
Yes.
But we stayed there. It was affordable and we enjoyed it. So we just did it again the second time.
Yeah. Why fix something that's not broken is our opinion. And the staff was friendly. The rooms were really nice. Again, like Jake said, affordable. They have a really, really nice rooftop. Oh man.
Definitely recommend like going there for, even if you're not staying there, go there for a drink at sunset. Because the view is beautiful. I'm not sure if I would imagine at some point we have a clip of it. And hopefully we can put it into this video, but if not...
take our word for it. It's a really nice spot to watch sunset, and they have a rooftop pool too. Yes. Which is a really fun feature if you are staying at this hotel. So based on that, let's give you some restaurant recommendations because we know you're going to be hungry.
Yes, and again, especially whenever you're traveling to foreign places, you're always kind of worried about like where to eat, what to eat, sort of thing. So these are all places that we've
personally ate at
and really, really enjoyed. And to be honest, if we ate it there once, we probably did it at least twice or 3 times.
And some of these we tried the first time that we went, and we were so excited to go back after COVID, and some of these establishments were still there. And we ate at them again. So they're tested, and we're big foodies, so we wouldn't steer you in the wrong direction. So our first recommendation, like Jake said, would be like the Suna Hotel rooftop bar. It's a little bit pricier. But definitely worth it for the view. The drinks were good. And I think we had pizzas there.
I think so,
and they were also very good. Another recommendation that we would have in El Nido Town would be Big Bad Thai. That's a tongue twister. You forgot about that.
I did, so good.
We personally love Thai food. So anytime we go somewhere, we actively seek out a Thai restaurant. There's a couple of different ones in El Nido Town area, but Big Bad Thai is definitely our favorite. The view is amazing.
Down right at the waterfront.
Oh man, it's you can get the bar seating outside looking right over the beach. It's absolutely beautiful. A really good spot to have dinner at sunset. Spring rolls, not super like foreign food, but it's so good.
Really going out on a limb with spring rolls.
I mean, we tried curries and all those things, but everything that we had there was so good.
Thais, everything really good.
Everything was good, Another place that we would definitely recommend that we've ate at a couple of times is Art Cafe in El Nido Town proper.
And like every meal, like we went there for breakfast because they're one of the first places that's open in the morning too. So when we were waiting for one of our boat tours, we had breakfast there. Really, really good.
Coffee was good.
And again, you can sit up on the balcony that overlooks the bay. Really, really nice. And then we did dinner there once or twice.
A couple times, both times that we've been to El Nido. And they have a mix. They've got a pretty big menu, so if you have some picky eaters in your group, it's definitely a good spot because they have Filipino dishes, and like North American dishes like pizzas and burgers and stuff like that too. If you're looking for some good breakfast recommendations, one place that we really, really like is Dayo. D-A-Y-O.
Yes.
I think that's how you pronounce it. We recently found it on our last trip.
I think it's
newish. But they are like this little tiny cafe tucked away in the city, and it was a really good accidental find on our part.
Actually, we, for whatever reason, I think we might have been on Instagram or something, but like we saw a picture of one of the breakfasts.
Oh yeah.
Which, like, how would you describe it?
They're like a souffle pancake.
Like a souffle pancake. Yeah. And we saw a picture of it and we're like, this place we gotta go to.
It was Jake.
Yeah.
Jake loves pancakes.
Yeah, and they were so good.
Oh man.
We've only had like souffle pancakes twice in our life. Once was here and another time was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And they are so good. So 100%.
Definitely try there.
A hankering for a sweet treat in the morning.
Yes.
They're real good.
We think we had dinner there too.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
like
dinner
upstairs.
Yeah, it's a multi-level restaurant. So both meals were really good, but oh man, that breakfast was so good.
Breakfast was really good.
And if you're looking for like a good takeaway coffee too, they have like some frozen like frappe kind of things, frozen coffees. those are really good to try there. One other place that we've been to for breakfast, happy hours, drinks, Happiness Beach Bar.
Yes.
Also a hostel. So if you're looking for a hostel, there are rooms upstairs that you can
It
rent.
seemed like we didn't go up, we didn't see, but
No.
it looked like it was always pretty busy, and
Yeah.
it looked like it was like a fun vibe
Yeah,
too. So
yeah, a good vibe for
definitely.
sure.
If you're a hostel person, we've kind of grown out of that phase in our
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Also have a good hostel story, which I
Oh,
think
man.
we're talking about in
Yeah,
later.
in this vlog, yeah.
It'll come up soon.
Yeah. But Happiness Beach Bar, they've got decent happy hour drinks, and then their breakfast, again, they're also one of the places that's open early-ish if you're doing like a boat tour.
And
So
they
you
also
can
have
eat.
good Wi-Fi too, so you'll get like a lot of people that are kind of looking to get some work done or whatnot.
Yes.
Definitely the place that you'll see a lot of people kind of on their laptops getting some work done, sort of thing. Because
Yeah.
it was actually that and Art Cafe were two spots we also went to a few times just because the Wi-Fi was
good.
a lot better than in some other locations.
Yeah. Okay, now, if you're going to venture a little bit outside of El Nido Town, like proper, there are two restaurants that we did try that were both amazing. So one of them was called Bella Vita. It's on the beach in Corong Corong. Did you forget?
I love
we went
that
there
we're just like, we're circling back and I get to remember all this all over again.
It's called Bella Vita. It's a Italian inspired restaurant, and it's right on the beach.
Yes,
Like you can,
yeah.
there's sometimes on low tide they'll put the tables like right near the sand. We had really good pasta there, and I think you might have had a pizza.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But if you have a hankering for Italian food, it was really good. The atmosphere was really cute. And I mean, if you're looking for like a really nice beach restaurant that's not super busy and loud, then that's
neat, for
definitely
sure.
the spot.
Yeah.
We also have like a local friend that we met on our first trip to the Philippines. So we went out for dinner with him and his family and another one of his friends that were in town at the time. And we went to Lion's Bar. That curry.
I definitely still remember that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's in the memory bank forever.
Yeah, that one's kind of in between like Corong Corong and Las Cabanas, if I'm remembering correctly. So you have to take a tricycle to get there, unless you're renting a scooter. But it was like a second floor restaurant. The view was amazing, beautiful at sunset. And every dish that we had there was so good. That was probably one of our favorite meals in the Philippines.
In all of the Philippines,
Yeah.
definitely one of our favorite meals, if not our favorite.
Yeah, we had the red curry. I remember specifically, and it was really, really good.
More Thai food.
Yeah. So now you're looking for things to do. I mean, there's really endless things to do in El Nido, but these were a couple of our favorites that we think you should definitely visit. One being Las Cabanas Beach. I really hope that I'm saying that right.
Sounds about right.
But it's about a 15-20 minute tricycle ride from El Nido Town. I believe it's about like $3 to get there.
Yeah, that's always when we kept talking about tricycles, like they're very inexpensive.
Oh yeah, it's the most economical way to get around for sure.
Yeah.
There's hotels there that you can stay at, but there is public beach access as well.
Beach is beautiful, and then also if you're staying there, obviously with most beaches that are on the waterfront with hotels, like they'll have their own kind of certain area that they have roped off with chairs and whatnot. So
just bring a towel. Don't be us and forget a towel and have to buy one when we're there for a markup.
Yeah.
So definitely bring a towel. Ask if your hotel has like beach towels or pool towels, and definitely bring those. Another place that we recommend going if you are in El Nido is Nacpan Beach.
Oh, it was so beautiful. Yeah, that was a really, really nice beach.
Beautiful beach.
Yeah.
Definitely worth visiting. You can do a day trip there. If you're staying at a hotel or a hostel in El Nido Town, you can ask the concierge desk to book you a round trip shuttle, and it's like a little minivan that brings people back and forth. You schedule a time. I had it written down that it was about 600 PHP, which is about like $9 or $10 US per person round trip. So definitely worth making a trip out there.
That amount could have changed by now. But
it could have, we went
so don't quote us on that and be like, Jim Kelly said.
Yes.
Inflation.
Absolutely.
There's a couple different spots. Actually, I think there's quite a few places to stay. When we were doing our research, one that popped up was it Nacpan glamping domes or like something like that?
Something along those lines.
But it's still like a hostel setup, or is it more like a hotel?
They're like a hotel / glamping dome.
But they have like these really nice glamping domes. It looked really, really nice.
Yeah.
But for this trip, we were trying to kind of challenge ourselves to stay within a budget and not kind of get too carried away with the amount of money we were spending. So we actually found another place which was just down the beach, Mad Monkey Hostel, and it was borderline free. It wasn't, but it was like very inexpensive. So we're like, let's give this a whirl.
And we heard really good things about Mad Monkey.
And like really good reviews on everything too. And the only thing is all the rooms were booked because we did this kind of last minute, this decision to do Nacpan Beach. And the only thing that was still left was like an outdoor tent, which when we got there is an outdoor tent with, I think they got hit with a storm. So like the cover above it to give it shade throughout the day was
destroyed.
Gone. So it just like, this was a tent that just sat in the sun all day. And it was
sweltering.
It was very, very warm. But again, it was super inexpensive, right on the beach, a beautiful spot.
Oh man,
but it was our first time. I've done hostels before, but it was our first time doing a hostel together.
Actually the night that we were there was their very first like, what is it called?
Like
a full moon party. So they had like fire dancers and a DJ.
There's a lot going on.
There was a lot. It was really fun.
It was really, really neat. And then like for 1 hour of the night, I forget what it's called, but basically...
Monkey Punch.
Yeah, it's called Monkey Punch, but I don't know what the hour is. I guess happy hour?
Maybe.
1 hour of unlimited monkey punch. And they'll go around and just kind of keep...
refilling
your cup. And then they also have like a wall of... I guess they call it a Hall of Fame of some sort. Basically, like whoever's drank the most monkey punch within an hour. And like there was one guy, I want to say it was like 60 monkey punches he drank in an hour. It was something like astronomically, dangerously high.
Don't quote us on the actual number, but it was something really high.
It was something where we saw it and we're like, is he still alive?
He was. He was, it's all good.
It looked like there were a lot of people there having a blast.
Oh, absolutely.
And like it was a lot of fun. It just like...
I think that's when you know that you're an adult.
It's like, I like my sleep.
We like air conditioning and comfort.
All right, we saved the best part for last, and probably the main reason that you tuned into this one.
And you're probably like, finally.
Boat tours in El Nido. I mean, that's the #1 draw to El Nido is these boat tours.
Absolutely.
So let's get into it.
Let's chat about it. So if you've been doing some Googling on boat tours in El Nido, you've probably seen that there is like a Tour A, a Tour B, Tour C, and Tour D situation.
Basically how that works out is Tour A has like 4 to 6 allotted islands, sandbars and whatnot that they go to. Tour B, the same. C. So each one, Tour A will only go to those spots. Tour B will only go to those spots as well. And when we were in El Nido, I think we only had 1 day to do a boat tour. And there were places on Tour A, Tour B, and so forth that we really, really wanted to see, but we didn't have the luxury of doing 3 boat tours in a day. So
that's how we got connected with Bryan. Bryan has become a really good friend of ours, and we really can't rave about him enough. He made our experience in El Nido just so much better. His boat tours are insane.
Honestly, like the tours were awesome. And again, he helped us kind of fine tune exactly what we wanted to see and do. So we could kind of pick from certain areas. He wasn't so kind of cut and dry of like, it has to be these spots, it has to be those spots. So it gave us a lot of flexibility to kind of maximize our 1 day boat tour and get the most out of it.
We sent him like a list of islands that we wanted to see, and he came back with like a realistic itinerary that really gave us like the full amount that we could possibly pack in 1 day. And Bryan and his crew really go like above and beyond to make your experience incredible. In the boat tours, I mean, this is every boat tour, but we're going to speak on our experience with Bryan. He kind of starts the day in a way that caters your itinerary to avoid crowds.
Well, he does that. Like other boat tours don't do that.
No.
So kind of the luxury again with him, because he's been doing this so long and he knows, again, the big kind of commercial boat tours, they almost kind of follow each other all around. If they hit this spot first, they go to Big Lagoon first, they go here and whatnot. And Bryan really is conscious of like going the opposite way, sort of. So that when you get to places, there's a lot less of a crowd. So you get a true appreciation for spots when it's not so overwhelming with people.
Yeah.
And that was another reason of like, not only is it customizable to some extent to get to see some different places, but you also get to see these places with less people, which again makes it that much more special.
Yeah, absolutely. And because Bryan and his crew have been doing this for so long, they're like a well-oiled machine. And their lunches are incredible. So when you
the meals were always so good.
So we recently have come to know that there have been some changes in boat tour regulations for food, but from our experience and from chatting with Bryan actually today, they have this incredible buffet lunch that they will set up. He will pick a spot that has like the least amount of crowd so you can enjoy your lunch in peace. And they whip up some amazing food. And some of our favorite meals have been from Bryan's chef, which is incredible.
Again, though, like you're on this little private island, this beautiful beach, like picturesque, and you're eating this good, like it's
the waves are crashing.
It's hard not to enjoy.
And Bryan really made sure that we are happy, as he does with all of his guests, and we just cannot recommend him enough. If you're really into supporting small, locally owned businesses, which we try to do as much as we possibly can. A lot of tours that you see in El Nido are run by bigger tour companies. And when you're working with Bryan, you are working with him, his wife, and his crew. That's it. They don't have a big tour company that's overseeing the permits. His wife gets up at 5 a.m. and goes and stands in line for your permit. They are a well-oiled machine. They've been doing this for so long, and they just go above and beyond. And I mean, they've become our friends. We know his children. They are so cute. We did a boat tour with his children and his
their whole family.
And like, oh man,
it was a lot of fun.
We cannot say enough good things about doing a tour with him specifically.
Even after our first time doing it, Kaylee then wrote a blog. I always say Kaylee because I am not involved in the blog writing whatsoever, but she wrote a blog basically about our experience and Bryan and whatnot. And a lot of people have then booked with Bryan, and we'll get every now and then an inbox from someone that's on the boat, like a selfie with Bryan in the background, or Bryan will message us and say, so-and-so just booked with us. And it just, everyone always has such good things to say.
So we feel confident recommending it to you.
And so many times it's just like, this has been the highlight of our trip. This has been so amazing. So definitely something, if you're in El Nido, has to be done. A boat tour has to be done.
Regardless.
And highly, highly recommend booking with Bryan. We'll somewhere in our description of our video.
In the description box below, we're going to put his WhatsApp. So you can contact him directly and book your tour with Bryan. So that is it for our El Nido What You Need to Know Before You Go vlog. We are going to break down all of the islands in the Philippines that we've been to, so we make your planning easier. So stay tuned for the rest of this series as it comes out. We hope that you really enjoyed this vlog, and subscribe to our channel to make sure that you don't miss the next video. And we hope that you enjoy your trip to El Nido. And if you end up using any of our suggestions, send us a DM. We'd love to hear all the things that you got up to, or even if you found a hidden gem that you think that we should know about for the next time we go, then definitely do that. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next vlog. Bye.